Hi, hello, how are you? And welcome back to another speed build. This speed build I actually did a few weeks ago, but surprise, this is not your ordinary speed build. This is a collab. I did a joint build on this lot with simmerj, who I will link at the end of this video and in the description down below, so make sure to go check her out. She's awesome. Her build is awesome too. Her video won't be going up at the same time as this one because she's currently on vacation, but look forward to it because it's awesome. I won't be showing any screenshots of her build, only of mine, and I'll only be showing footage of my build because I really want you to go check out her channel, but you will probably see her build in the thumbnail. But anyway, we decided to do a Christmas build, and we went back and forth with a lot of ideas, and a lot of them were like very big ideas, and we're like, maybe that's a little impossible. We were going to do each do half the lot. It was going to be a Christmas village. We were going to do each half of a house. One of us would build it, one of us would decorate it, and then we finally came to this. We decided we were going to do townhouses, and so I did a gingerbread townhouse, which was crazy. I looked at pictures of gingerbread houses, like actual gingerbread houses, with real candy and stuff on Pinterest. I looked at how other people had interpreted gingerbread builds in the gallery and on YouTube, and it was so hard to figure it out. And that's why when you just saw when I was picking a color for the outside of the house, I tried like every different swatch of brown. It was insane. And then you'll see in a minute that I actually go through the debug objects and I lay them all out in the yard so I know what I want, because I just needed to see everything. I needed to know what was available. My one worry with this build, because I have not played in it yet, is that your Sims will try to interact with some of the stuff. I don't know. Actually, my main worry is that I used the rainbow and the golden dog poop, and I think the hairballs as some stuff, as some decorations, and I'm worried that your Sims will be like constantly uncomfortable that there's something gross in the area. So I don't know. I haven't played with this house yet, but I love how it looks, and that's really all that matters. Also, the only part that has all the extras for the gingerbreadness is on the outside. So if you like the build, but your Sims are freaking out because of all the random debug objects, you can remove those and it's still a nice townhouse. Also, let me just describe my gingerbread thought process to you. Obviously, I have all this stuff that looks like candy, so it would be bright and colorful. But with the actual house itself, I was like, all right, so everything that can anyways, needs to have a white border, because that's how when you make a gingerbread house, you define things with icing. So that's why we have white railings on the stairs, we have white framed windows, and I have these big, thick white borders, or whatever they're called, between the floors and on top of the roof, as though like icing had been piped around them. And I think it looks cool. I think it looks like a gingerbread house, or as close to a gingerbread house as you can get in The Sims. I even gave it a little quote-unquote candy garden, even though these are like kids' play blocks and then miscellaneous colorful objects. But I think it looks nice. I had a lot of fun making this build, but I also was very stressed making this build because I was like, I had so many ideas of like gingerbread houses in my head, and then there were so many things I couldn't do, and then there were so many things where I was like, oh, I can do this, but let me find this object in the debug menu, and there are so many objects in the debug menu. And then sometimes with some of the food, like as soon as you place it, it would rot or disappear, and it was just insane, but I loved it. It was a great challenge. Also, you'll notice I set this s'more out in the yard, and I leave it there for a while, and that was because when I was doing the garden, I saw it in the menu, and I was like, oh, this could be a cool coffee table. But I ended up using a regular coffee table because once I got inside the house, I stopped using the debug stuff, and I made it a normal Christmassy house. You'll also notice that even though this is a 3-story townhouse, there's only 1 bedroom, and that's because I don't know, I feel like this is a very fancy house for only a couple Sims, because sometimes fancy houses only have 1 bedroom. It's just how it is. And so I kind of picture this being like the grandparents or the fun aunt and uncles or the cool people without kids townhouse. And like people come over there and they have space to have big gatherings and large dinners, but they don't, people don't really stay over. Also, I originally painted with sand, and then I think I put down white carpet. for like a snowy ground. I guess I could have added the new snow mod. Actually, I don't think that mod, because it was recently developed, I think, or a new version was. I don't think that was out when I built this. So this was a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I was just playing with anything that had color on it. I used the snowflake decals because, you know, if you buy a gingerbread house kit, usually they come with those little candy snowflakes. And I was like, boom, perfect. I didn't use any, I don't think, except for the snowflakes, any Christmas decorations, like normal ones, on the outside. I did use them on the inside, though. I used the, what are they called? Like the tree branches, the bows of trees, the wreaths, and the Christmas tree. I used those all inside. I used the Christmas table. I used a Christmas fireplace. I got the Christmas spirit on inside the house. There are lots of reds and greens, but there are some pops of color. It's just, I don't know. I'm just so excited about this build, guys. Because when I thought about it, I was like, okay, I can do this. And then when I started, I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And then halfway through, I was like, am I done yet? Because this took hours and hours and hours. And then I think this took 2 days. Obviously, it didn't take 48 hours, but it took 2 days because I built for so long the first time I started that I got the worst headache. Like, that's how long I was building, was that The Sims was starting to hurt my eyes. And then I did it. And then the next day I finished it. And it was just a trial and a half. I also had some issues figuring out the floor plan because there were 2 flights of stairs and I needed to figure out a bunch of stuff out, like where things would go. And I did that kind of jutting out on the front where I have window seats and stuff. And I had to figure out how to work that in. And it was a lot. But I think the detail and stuff is really cool. I don't think this house has a lot of clutter, if I remember correctly. But I don't think it needs it. It has so much going on. And I don't know. Like, this house just has... I feel like this is a house that you would still want to play in. Originally, you'll see when I'm placing stuff in the top floor, I did try to have 2 bedrooms, but I couldn't figure out a way to place the stairs and 2 bedrooms and a bathroom all together without it be up on that floor, without it being insane looking. So I just went with the 1 bedroom. But anyway, I think this is a house that really works. I mean, I know it's very themed right now, but you could modify it so easily, like download it for Christmas or whatever, and then your Sims could still live in it afterward. You could just change wall colors and redecorate a little bit because the shape of the house, I think, is great. It's a normal townhouse shape. So, and it has a gigantic kitchen. This is the kitchen for any Sim who likes to cook. There are 2 ovens. There's so much seating space. You could throw some awesome dinner parties in this house. There isn't a bar, though, I just realized. But there is a study. This house has a study area. It's not, okay, it doesn't have like a full-on office, but it has a little mini study alcove type thing, which is on the 2nd floor. This house has... Once we get to the 2nd floor, there are kind of 2, the living room's kind of split. There's like a seating area with the fireplace, which is kind of like cozy, and it's very much a conversation area. And then there's an area with a couch and a TV, which is kind of more the fun, casual, let's watch TV or a movie kind of area. And I like that. I don't know if any of you have ever like looked at living room layouts or the ways that living rooms can/should/are best laid out, but a lot of times when you have a bigger living room, you can lay it out so it's kind of divided to create the sense of, I don't know, you section it off so that the room doesn't feel, it's big, but it doesn't feel too big and you don't feel like you're wasting space. And you'll have like a conversation area and then a casual area. And the casual area will have the focus being a TV, and the conversation area, the focus is the other seating arrangement, the other places that you sit. So when people sit there, they look at each other and they conversate, basically. And yes, I know conversate's not a word, but it's fun to say. But yeah, the hardest part of this was honestly figuring out wall art. You'll notice in the 2nd floor when I do the living room, I put up a bunch of galaxy prints, which don't really match the overall decor of the house, but I love the size of the prints, and I felt like the wall, that back wall that I put them on, really needed a gallery wall, and nothing I played with fit right. And I just love the shape of those, and I thought they fit right, even though what's actually in the prints doesn't really fit. Like, there's nothing space themed about this house at all. But I don't know. I think they work. And I mean, you could change them. I didn't want to leave that wall blank. But I did also not want to, oh my gosh, that was a butchered sentence. I also didn't want to just kind of sacrifice, I don't know, my gallery wall vision for not using galaxy prints. I don't know. The galaxy prints don't bother me. What does bother me, however, is that you'll see where the stairs are. It breaks the border between the floors, and I couldn't figure out how to make that stop. And so I just left it. But if anyone knows how to fix that, let me know, because, oh my gosh, it's so annoying. Like, no thank you. Not a fan at all. See, look at the seating area and the Christmas tree. And the cool thing about this is if you did play with it outside of the holidays, you could remove the Christmas tree from that area and then add another window seat, or, I don't know, you could do a lot with those little alcoves. You could put one of those couches in there. Because, I don't know, I think the shape of this townhouse lends itself a lot of possibilities, especially if you remove some of the more specific things that make this a Christmas build, like the Christmas tree, for instance. But that's up to you. I've said this before in another video, I think, but if you do renovate or edit the build in any way, I would love to see it. Like, show me how you adapt my builds to use for your Sims. I'm very curious, because, I mean, obviously I'm building them and I have a vision in mind, and I upload them so you don't have to build things, because, I don't know, sometimes you don't want to build something, so you go looking on the gallery for something cool. But if you do change it, I want to know. I want to know how. I don't know, because everyone has a different creative vision, and when you take inspiration from someone else, like, for instance, if you took this townhouse and then you changed it up to match your Sims, or to match your vision of the holidays, or even added to it to match your vision of a gingerbread house, that changes the whole thing, and it's great, and I want to know. Like, I just want to see, because, I mean, if I can inspire you, you can obviously inspire me, right? Right. Duh. The bathroom, I am a fan of. I don't usually do bathrooms that have two doors like this, because this one is kind of a bathroom where you can access it directly from the bedroom, but you can also access it from the hallway. So people visiting don't have to go through your bedroom to get to the bathroom, but you also have ease of access in the bedroom. I don't know. I have a bathroom like that in my apartment, but I don't usually build them in The Sims, and I think it's mostly because I want the wall space in my bathrooms. But in this one, I didn't need the wall space. I just wanted something different. And holy plants in this build. Well, I don't think there were that many plants, actually. But up here, I did put some plants. I just wanted the plants. I tried to keep with the red and green. I tried to keep it cozy with that bed with the quilt. I think there are still a lot of cats and dogs items in here. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I love those items so much. And honestly, I don't even... Because cats and dogs, the kind of general decor aesthetic is kind of country, rustic, beach house. Like, it's kind of a mix of those. And not the biggest fan of all of those. I live on a beach, so you see so much of that beach house stuff. And it gets to be a lot. But I don't know. But I love the cats and dogs stuff, and I love to use it. But anyway, the build is coming to an end. Screenshots are about to roll through. I'm going to let you go. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'd love to know what you think. You can find this build on the gallery, and don't forget to check out simmerj and her build. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!